we are at Bar Stache in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Listen, on Across the Bar, we try to cover kind of all angles of the bar business. We've been to whiskey, we've seen mezcal, we've looked at craft beer, but you know, we've never been in a speakeasy or a place called a drinking den. John Lermayer, you are about to show us something really cool. First of all, tell us a little about Bar Stache.
Well, Bar Stache, you know, using the term speakeasy or drinking den can typecast it a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. What really sets Bar Stache apart is this, you know, it's a drinking den, it's a dance hall, you know, it's made for having fun. The drinks are here to complement the music and the good time and the experience, right? So the backbone of Stache will always be like music and fun and the great cocktails that kind of went along with that period of time. Because I feel like now, like nightlife in particular has gotten a little bastardized, if you would, by, you know, technology and strobe lights and all that time. But there was a time when they were first inventing this nightlife fun. And that's what we're really trying to get back to.
Now, the Stache is a little different though in the style of what you guys have done from a design theme. You guys have really brought in a lot of eclectic looks and feels. Yeah. Something that's really comfortable for a bar like this. Has that been something that you've tried to, you know, cater into your cocktails as well?
Yeah, absolutely, right? So everything old is new again.
Yeah.
Right? So we kind of, to me, what we were trying to accomplish here with the design was kind of a timeless feature, right? So some kind of almost lost elegance, if you would. Whereas a lot of new venues are putting new LED lights and kind of stuff in. We went with, you know, brick, wood, iron, and glass, you know, with a library. Those kinds of things that will give you the comforts of home that you usually don't see in a lot of like nightlife or drinking destinations.
Now, your story behind Stache of the guy that kind of was the passion behind this bar, even though he's fictitious, I love the way that that's connected into what you guys are doing here.
So Charles Stache, our founding father, and so this is basically his house, right? So Mr. Stache travels the world. He's a bon vivant, if you would. He enjoys fine food and drink, and he enjoys partying. Yeah. So this is his interpretation of what it would be like coming to his home. So what you'll see around the room is eclectic artwork that he's collected around the world. The spirits on the shelf are spirits he's discovered from his world travels, and all the little trinkets and furniture he's collected along the way.
So John, tell us a little bit about what we're looking at. This is obviously one of your cocktails that's a signature one here at Bar Stache. Tell us all about this.
So when you look at the menu at Stache, right, all of them are rooted in the classics, okay? So first and foremost, we believe in using great spirits. The idea is to frame that spirit and not mask it. Like, we don't want to cover it up. This particular drink is called the Voodoo Child No. 2. Right, so it's very much falls into the sour family. We're commonly known as, maybe you maybe relate to it as what a cosmopolitan would be, right? So we've used Jamaican rum with a Spanish liqueur called Liquor 43 that the base of the flavor is vanilla, with pineapple juice, and then lemon juice is the acid to round it out. So it's shaken really well, that's what gives it that wonderful head. And then we dust a little nutmeg on top, which will give you great aromatics when you lift the glass to your mouth.
So when you design the menu, when you look around all of the speakeasy looks and feels that are trying to be done in New York and even LA, a lot of this style is coming back. Was there something special you were trying to tie into as far as the drinks themselves?
Simple and delicious, for me, is always paramount, right? So we want you to be able to come here for a happy hour during the week or at 1 a.m. on a Saturday and get the same exact drink that you ordered. That's kind of the guidelines that we made this menu on. We want it to be approachable, right? So you won't find, try to keep all the cocktails to 3-4 ingredients, so we don't mask anything up and turn it into kind of a hot mess.
This one right here is got a great finish on it. Now, is that just the mixture of the pineapple juice against the rum?
Well,
I mean,
the first thing you're going to taste is the rum, right? So Jamaican rum in particular will have a nice dry wood finish to it, right? That really lasts long. The pineapple juice will produce kind of, first of all, a beautiful texture in the mouth, okay? And then a fruity fun that you're really familiar with, right? The vanilla is the thing that comforts you, right? And the acid balances it all out.
Wow, this one is a great one. Gotta love the voodoo.
Yeah.
All right, John, so obviously you are crafting up an original here. Let's talk a little bit about what you got here.
Well, actually, this is our version of an old fashioned. What we wanted to do was bring back what we thought that in the time period that were built around the 20s, 30s, 40s, that this was the version of the old fashioned that you got. For us, just to be rooted in the classics, we believe in a really great overproof bourbon, proper dashes of bitters, a little bit of sugar, and the orange wedge. We serve it over a nice big cube in a double rocks glass, so people can enjoy their old fashioned like they were meant to be.
So when you get to cocktails like this that are real classics or a derivative of a classic, we kind of talked a little bit about this in the sense of how ice plays such a big role.
Everything we do at a bar, like in entertainment or hospitality, we're trying to get a good reaction out of people, right? It's all about emotional reactions. And we have a saying that you may not remember what you had to drink, and you may not remember what you had to eat, but you always remember how they made you feel, right? So the simplest thing, like a well thought out, good sized ice cube, makes people feel good. From a technical standpoint, right, the larger ice cube, because it comes right out of the freezer, not out of the well, it's colder than typical bar ice. And it also minimizes surface area, so the dilution rate is not as high. Right. So your drink will stay colder, and it will taste like it was meant to taste from the first sip to the last. And people's reaction to it means that people care about quality again, right? They care about craftsmanship, and I think that's coming back because that was really lost for a long time.
Right, so I think you tied that in really nicely to what you guys are trying to do here with Stache, is really bringing back something that kind of has that historical feel, that just is one of those places in time that is very hard to replicate. I mean, the 1920s is one thing. All right, John, so let's kind of end up on a really great note here.
Okay.
Every bartender's got one in his back pocket. Is this the one for you?
This particular cocktail here very much is rooted in the old-fashioned style, right? So kind of spawns easily off that. You can see it's similar in presentation style, but what's in there is very different. So this starts with Del Maguey Mezcal Vida, which is excellent since mezcal is the base spirit.
Right.
Then it has this Cochi Americano, which is an aperitif wine, so lightly spiced wine from Italy. But it's very kind of light in flavor, but has a little bit of like nutmeggy clove on the back end.
Interesting.
And then we finish with Aperol, a very famous kind of light style aperitif bitter, right? So that's the bitter element. It also has a beautiful orange color. So this is equal parts all three. Again, staying within simplicity, 3-ingredient cocktail, and it's finished with a grapefruit peel. It's actually our bestseller.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we've got to try that. You guys are really trying to twist the knot here in terms of just changing things up a little bit.
It may in theory, we want Broward to drink better, right? But we really just want them to have a lot of fun while they're doing it. So we never want to forget that. It's not that we want to be this groundbreaking cocktail bar where our bartenders are on stage every night. No, the bartenders, they're cool. They're bartenders, right? We just take drinks a little more seriously. And, we take our spirits a little more seriously, and that's
great.
Yeah, that's it.
I love the way that you guys are bringing the 1920s right here to modern day Fort Lauderdale.
Love it.
It's hard too. I mean, what you guys are really trying to do here is something very unique and special. So congrats to you and the Bar Stache team.
Yeah, thank you.